population growth. Now we're going to look at populations and how they change over time and how you look at a current snapshot of this. And it really doesn't matter whether we use the example of plants or whether you use the example of humans or trees in the forest or bears in the forest. You get the same sort of way of being able to observe these. So in this particular case, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at population growth among humans in geographic areas. In this, we're going to start out with a population distribution. And this happens to be in the country of Nigeria, which is one of the fastest growing countries in the world. The information in here was taken from the Central Intelligence Agency World Factbook. It's in the public domain. And what I've got is I've got 3 curves in here and they all come together. Now these have been modified to fit your screen so that we can see the way things are. But what you see in this particular thing is you see distribution of ages 0 to 4, 5 to 9, all the way up this. And on either side, you see the population of that country in millions of people in each age group, which means that the 0 to 4 age group in this particular case happens to be the largest. And it's followed by the 5 to 9, and that's followed by the 10 to 14. And if we start thinking about this, we've probably got 1/3 of the entire population of this country, or maybe half, under the age of 20, which is a very interesting thing because, when we talk about populations, we talk about jobs and what people do and everything else. This would be what they call a rapidly growing country because you've got a lot of young people in it in this distribution. So when we look at the age group, we can see the distribution. If we were looking at trees, we could see the same sort of thing. This is United States. Now, the legends on these are not quite the same size because this shows that the largest group in the United States is about 12, and that is about what you've got in the 10 to 14 range. But the 12 in here is actually the 20 to 24 range. You see kind of a steady movement upwards up until about 60, and then it starts to taper towards the top. In something like this, you tend to have what we call zero population growth because everything seems to be fairly constant as far as age groups go. Over here, we have got Italy. Now, again, population, the x-axis in here is not fine-tuned to the other ones, but what we're looking at is we're looking at the general pattern. In this, you can see that your majority of your population is going to be between 40 and 50 years of age. Has a much smaller growth down at the bottom, smaller size up at the top. And in this particular case, this has a negative population growth. So when we look at population curves, we break things out based on age groupings so that we can get different amounts in here so that we can visualize what is happening. And we call these things population curves. And they are extremely important to understand how they work.